Good morning, welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. I'm David Steele and here's my truck. And today we're back in my Iveco Stralis. This is I think the first truck I started this profile with. And that was because it was cheap. Now obviously over the years it's been upgraded, it's been fixed a few times, but here we are today. But this video is less about my Scottish flagged up Iveco Stralis, so it's a Scottish flag on an Italian truck, and more a quick progress update on where I'm at with adding support for the Euro Truck Simulator to the Steele Productions Engine Pack. First things first, let's go ahead and just start this truck up. Let's jump in the cabin. Let's do that. There we go. Get my lights on. I may want to change the brightness down a little bit. And yeah, it looks like we've got the external light. I must have left that turned on. Let's check. Yeah, I do. Okay, great. Let's go ahead here. Okay, so I've just quick traveled to Stravis in Sweden, and I'm going to just jump into the workshop here, and I'm going to show off some of well, say some of. I'm going to show off, maybe that's not the right word. I'm going to demonstrate the engines that I've pulled into ETS2 from American Truck Simulator. So my last video, we were driving the Macar, and that was a very early version of the mod. Let's just say, who knew there were so many engines in the stock ETS2? If you've got your hand up, yeah, there are a lot. But let's go to engines here. And first things first, the filter. I do not have any of the stock engines showing here because I've customized the torque curve for every single one of them. So here we got the Iveco Cursor 10. That's what I'm running right now. 450 horsepower, 2100 newton meters of torque. Actually, there's a mistake there. I don't like the space between the 2100 and the newton meters, so I can fix that. Great. But looking down this list, we've got all the other Iveco. In fact, let's make my life a little easier. Let's just go ahead and filter that. There we go. So these are all the 2007 engines. We might have some Cummins engines in here as well. Let's see. Do we? No, I've got a Caterpillar and some Cummins. Okay. And a Detroit diesel. The point is, though, these are the engines that the truck comes with. They're fully customized. And as at the time of recording this, which is just a few days before this video goes live, I believe I've got them all. Now, I say believe. I have to go back and do some testing and some just checking and so on and so forth. And they're all custom. They're not. I haven't just taken the torque curve and sort of changed some of the details. They are all custom torque curve. It took a long time. So that's part number one for this particular truck. And let's go to the gearbox. We've added, or I've added, some American transmissions. Now, I've tried to simplify the range a little bit. So looking at just here at these 13 speeds, we have a 325 final drive. We've skipped a few, the 355, skipped at least one to the 3.9, and then 4.1 and 433. That might want to be a 411, but either way. So we've got some American automated, such as the Ultra Shift, the Endurance, some American manual. So these are manual transmissions. These are also manual. We've got here the Ultra Shift, yep, and more manuals. The Auto Shift second generation. The second generation Eaton Auto Shift. That's a sort of 2001, I think, vintage, give or take. So we got some different transmissions, not all of them, because there are so many. And it looks like I could do with tweaking the icon I use for the Allison transmission for the automatic, but yeah, I don't necessarily need both of those. Can fix that as well. We also have the Allison 740 and 750. That's the 4 and 5 speed gearboxes. The Eaton Precision. This is currently in the mod. I may not keep that. As a 7-speed dual clutch. It's a medium duty type arrangement, so I probably wouldn't use it for this particular engine, but it's there. What else do we have? Yeah, and the standard ZF gearboxes that you get with the truck. That's the extent of the changes I've made. I haven't done anything else, and there are a few. No, I don't think there are. There aren't any OEM new engines. Great. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and come out of here. Yep, don't want any changes. Let's go and look at my trucks. Let's pick one. I don't know. Let's pick a Scania Streamline. So Iona is the driver here. She's based out of Edinburgh. Great. Let's go to upgrade. And what we see here, go across to engines, is we have the same portfolio, except the same portfolio of non-Scania engines. The Scania engines are included as Scania engines. So if I go ahead and search for Scania, we see DC13, DC12. These are the stock engines. They just have their own custom torque curve. And they should all be here. I stress the should. I have to double check. So all the way up to a 730 Euro 6 generation engine. That may not be 2013. Oh, I think it is a 2013. So the whole range is here. And if we close this, if you wanted to install a Cummins X15 efficiency, we've got those here too. If you wanted to install a Caterpillar, let's say you want to put a 3176B in here, we've got 3176B. At the time of recording, I do not know if all of those engines are going to stay in here. So if you have an opinion, leave it in the comments below. I would really appreciate the opinion, because I can leave them in, I can take them out. It clutters things up a little bit, or a lot of bit, because you got a lot of engines here to choose. Choice is good. Okay. Did the Detroit Diesel 6V92 ever make it to Europe? Don't think it did, but some of the Caterpillars did. Did the Detroit Diesel Series 60 make it to Europe? Again, I'm not convinced it did, but Cummins certainly have a presence. Now, some of the pain is the wrong word. Some of the trucks that took a little longer to get right are the MANs and the DAFs. You see, yeah, this was a truck I bought because I had to test. I didn't have many MAN trucks. So let's go ahead and look at the TGX. Real basic looking truck there. I don't bother with many options when I'm testing it. And here we go. So let's go ahead and look at the MAN. This the 1556 is the little 9-litre. That might work well with the Procision. The 2676, I think the 12.4. There's a 3066 that's a 12.7. 3876 is a 15-litre, 15.2 I think. So they should all be present and correct. Okay. So yes, a lot of time. I spent a lot of time looking at all of those engines, and by a lot, I mean we're talking more time than I would really care to admit. Let's go ahead and just check the Renault. Yep, DXI. That's the essentially it's a badge engineered Volvo, and we've got those three there. That's good. So some of the other Renaults have got a DCI. It's the Euro 6 equivalent, and I will likely pull in the different generations of engines into the different trucks. So the Mercedes, the original Actros just has the original engines, or the original Mercedes engines, like so. So we'll look at that. Yeah, they were a pain to find. I ended up having to, well, I renamed it, the engines, just to reflect what they appeared to be called. So the OM 541 501 LA kind of drops off the tongue, don't you think? So yeah, we got those, and we've got the bigger ones. The V8s are down here as well. Yeah, 542. So we could give this lady a V8 here. She'll also need an overdrive transmission. So we should probably want that one, because we don't want to just destroy the transmission. I guess I went silly with the lights here. Okay. Oh, that's got the some of the Raven upgrades. Just whilst I'm here, let's go ahead and give her a funky paint job. Freya's blessing. Alright, that works for me. Kind of expensive. So yes, there's been I've spent a lot of time on these engines, and transmissions less, so I already had those. Just wanted to trim down the range a little bit. Well, let's go for a little drive, shall we? It's been a while since I've been in Sweden. So let's see what we've got. Let's see if we have an external we can take. A shorter trip. Let me see. That's not that far. It's across a ferry or across a boat. I like boats. Oslo, yeah, that's a kind of heavy cargo. What's this city called? Bergen. I should know that. And there's nothing to Bergen. Let's look at freight market. So, what have we got? Yeah, a little further, I think. Frederikshavn, I think that's what it's called, off to Denmark. I quite like the idea of, I don't know. That's a beautiful road. It is a very, yeah, I'm going to go with an external contract. I don't really want the time pressure of having to get there. So, and I'm actually just going to turn up at somewhere. Let's go back here and jump in and let's take it for a spin. Because what's the worst that happens? In fact, wow, it's been a while since we've been. Look at this. I've not been here. Well, I think we should go and explore here, as we're going to get more potential employees. There's a lot of viewpoints to look at. It's the Stein. Oh yeah, Stein might be an interesting place to go visit. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll go visit the Stein. But I think I want to visit some of these businesses. Okay.
Come on, there's a job to do.
Thanks, Doug. Go ahead and drop that. No, let's leave the volume where it is. Actually, we'll leave it where it is. So, having spent a long time in the American game, but lived in Europe, and at the time, well, lived in the EU.
Turn left.
From a few months when, actually no, I was still living in the UK when it was still part of the EU. But at the time I didn't have that much interest in trucks. Still like boats, but not in trucks. So what's it like driving in Europe again, on the right side, of the right-hand side of the road, I should say, not necessarily the right side. That makes it sound like I'm saying correct. Well, it's interesting. The road signs come back to me, which is good.
Let's find a new route.
I'm going to go ahead and explore this. The majority of trucks appear to have a manual, and I do have specifications on some of, an automated, I should say, not a manual. I do have specifications on some of the manuals that were available by different manufacturers, and so I will be adding those to the game in due course. But I really wasn't expecting to have to invest so many hours on customizing the torque curves, but I'm glad I did it. Once it's done.
Get ready to turn left.
So, like I say, at the day and time that I'm recording this video, things left to do. So number one, I need to basically test these engines, make sure that everything is present and correct. And I haven't missed one, because that would be pretty embarrassing. So that's number one. Two is, I really want to decide if I want to include all of the American engines I've got in so far. I think I do, but I'm open to suggestions. I can add and remove them, not a problem. It just requires an update. Removing them when they're added is a bit of a pain, because if someone's got the mod and they're using an engine and you remove it, they might get upset with you, and it's not a good experience. But on the other hand, if I don't add them, I can add them later maybe, but then I may as well just add them now. Yeah. Same with some of the gearboxes. Like I say, I do want to work on adding... Oh, let's tell the world where I'm going. I do want to add some of the stock or some of the European manual gearboxes, and that might replace some of the American manuals.
Exit now.
And here's the thing, if you have a manual, does it really matter what country it originated from? It might do. So yeah. And then the process of adding other engines, European engines for European trucks, will start, and that's where this is. Well, that's the fun part of the mod pack. Selfishly, if I want to drive, let's say, an older Volvo with the D13A engine, that's the I think that's the original generation D13. Well, I got to add the torque curve to the game. Okay. That's no problem. Or even the D12. But what I don't think is necessarily realistic or even helpful is adding all of the American Volvo definitions to the European trucks and vice versa. I mean, would you really want to have, well, what are there, 20 D16s for the American game? Just the D16 by itself? Do you really want to add those to the European game? You're going to have 300-400 engines. I don't know whether I really need to do that. That's just like adding them for the sake of adding them.
Exit right.
But again, if you have an opinion, let me know. Opinions are free. You know, if you have a good reason or just would prefer one way or the other, just let me know.
Turn left.
This little sign here, it's like a sort of square egg. The white border and the yellow rhombus, I suppose you might call it, diamond shape in the middle. That means that you're on the priority road. So you can look down upon lesser mortals on a minor road. So they have to give way to you. And that's, well, it's kind of nice, really. The UK doesn't have those, and I miss that. That's nice to see. It just makes it clear as to, you know, hey, they got to give way to you. Good grief, how far away is, wow, 60 kilometers away from where I wanted to go to pick up some cargo. Yeah, I'm going to just check the map for a second. Let me see. Oh yeah, that is right. Yeah, I remember it now. Well, I don't really want to bore everyone by making you watch me drive Bobtail all the way to the depot. So, I'll pause the recording and I'll be back. And for the benefit of Sandy, don't you know? You know, I wasn't going to bother with any recordings until I'd maybe collected the cargo, but this is really something. I've forgotten how much I like the sort of quarries and the sites and installations in the European game, but this is cool. So we're almost there. We didn't go rallying or break any speed limits or cause any mischief on the way here. And here we are. And yeah, this thing is a little slidey. I'd like to make it stop raining, but I'm pretty sure it rains a lot in Scandinavia, so I'm not going to worry about it. Right, well, here we are. Let's see what car. Yeah, that is cool. Might jump out and just take a picture of this. No, I guess we'll just leave it. We'll leave it as it is. Just for argument's sake, though, let's see. Can I zoom out? No, I can't. Okay. What have we got then? Freight market, because I can change the weight. An excavator. That's interesting. Ooh, some special cargoes. I don't think today is the day for those special cargoes, but yeah, that's nice to know. These do not look the simplest of cargoes. I mean, what could possibly go wrong on the one hand, and then the answer to that question is bloody everything. So maybe I don't want to quit sand to Oslo. Sand is an interesting cargo. I mean, it's kind of heavy, but I don't know whether I really want to do that. Punched it to Hamburg with some more sand and articulated hauler, Volvo thing. Yeah. We have anything else? What have we got here? Stones to Newcastle. Yeah, I mean, trip to the UK does sound pretty cool, but a bit too long for what I want to do today. No, they have a yellow one, so I mean that's going to be pretty cool. And why are you taking stones to Newcastle? Oh, I suppose it doesn't matter why. I think we're going to go with this excavator. I know it gives me a bit of time pressure, but hey, I mean, it'll be fine. What's the worst that happens, right? All right, let's go ahead and set this up. And now, if you've played ETS or even ATS, you may be thinking, sir, what units are you using? Well, I'm using a mix. I'm using pounds for cargo. I'm using kilometers for distance. I'm using kilometers per hour for speed. And I'm using liters for fuel. Yes, I know, and it's okay. It's okay. These are the units that I chose to use, and it's not that they make particularly much sense. I just wanted to use them. I'm going to go with a red low bed with this extra funky wheel up front and 4 at the back, and I suspect that some of those steer. So this thing's going to be a real challenge because I am so not used to that. Let's just check. Is it the same weight cargo? Yeah, it is. Right. Let's hit it. Let's jump back in. Where's the cargo? It's on the left. Oh, no, it's not. I have to get round there. And there's no sign that says this way. So, well, in America, you go round the right. A little bit of a hill here. Okay. Oh, and we can go down here. Yeah, this looks good. This'll work. Maybe it won't. Alright, let's back it up. And we'll go to the left. Because I think, yeah, I don't think I want to get stuck. It'd be very embarrassing if that happened. So, the reason why I'm using this view is a really nice feature of cab overs, and I've driven a lot of cab overs in ATS, and also ETS, is the tight turning circle. Oh, look at that. Wow, this is quite a gradient. Okay, there we go. Jump back in the cabin. That's where I'd, if it was in a manual, would drop to like first or second gear and just gently punt it round. How am I going to get out of here? Okay. Oh, time to get wet, everyone. Get my window down. I just realised I've got this the sort of standard steering wheel, but the premium interior. I guess at some point I had to replace the steering wheel. I don't know why. What could possibly damage the wheel? Hey Zach, have you got any ideas? Drop the suspension height. So we can tuck it on here, nice and easy. There we go. That'll do. Okay, raise my ride height. Get the thing connected. Okay, quick look outside. Yeah, it's just a bit of an interesting looking combination, this. Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. Let's get my window closed. Right, jump in and how do I leave? Well, I guess we'll go straight ahead. And we'll bear around to the right. No, maybe not. Maybe I gotta bear around to the left. Do I get a clue from here? Not really. Yeah, I kind of do actually. I gotta go around to the right. I either go around to the perimeter of it, or I bear around to the right. And here's what I'm concerned about. And I'll switch the external view, and that is that this thing has a really tight turning circle, despite being about as long as Nebraska. So we'll do what we can to sort of make sure that we don't collide with anything. Yeah, it is. So see how the rear axle on the trailer is also turning? That makes a huge difference. Okay. Let's jump back in there. Yeah, it looks like I could have gone straight ahead after all, but okay. Well. So I could have gone this way after all. Oh, what about my height? Yeah, that's going to run foul of that if I'm... The Volvo is going to run foul of this cover on my left, the right side of the screen if I'm not careful. But it's also going to run foul of this concrete fence thing behind me to my right or to the left of the screen. So there we are. It's actually pretty easy. Okay. Great. That was easy. That is a pretty steep gradient, so there we go. Okay, that is not good. I've just stalled in an automated. Let's try raising my right eye. I didn't really expect that. Okay. Wow, it's not going anywhere. What are we stuck on? Oh no, I really? Bugger. Okay, try that again. This is not a good start. And I'm actually going to just go ahead and lock my differential. I think I've just locked it. No. Wow, this is really not a good start. Yeah, we have to get recovered in the yard. It's just really not very good. It's actually V to lock the differential, not Y. Y is to do with the trailer, I think. We'd have to ask why that is, but looks like we don't have it. Okay, so I didn't raise a wheel there. Right, let's go ahead and try this again. Okay, that's actually much better. We should have reasonable traction with... Oh, no, we just don't. Why am I stuck on something? No, I'm not stuck. Stalled it again. Alright, let's try having a bit of a run up. If at first you don't succeed, apply as much power as you possibly can. So, go, go, go. And stupid thing tried to shift up and then it just loses traction. That's just really terrible. Okay, come on. I'll rock this thing backwards and forwards. Alright, let's put it into manual mode. Go with second gear and apply power. Power, 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 power. Go, go, go. Alright. Oh... This is just another reason why I kind of... I'm going to whine now. I didn't give up on ETS. I felt like the game gave up on me. Because it's like... I've spent hours on ATS. Is it really that much harder in Europe? I mean, I guess it is. There we go. But that should not have been as hard as it was. Now, I probably should have been using a 6x4. Right, that's got the thing configured back in automated mode, and I've turned off the differential. And I may the locking differential. I may regret that. Yeah, I think I will. This is not that heavy a cargo. Wow. Well, the hope is here. If I keep the thing rolling, it's gonna not get stuck. I'm not convinced I can keep it rolling. Yeah, it's not just spinning its wheels. It'll be spinning just one wheel, in theory. Okay. Right, I am going to go ahead and pause the recording because it might take me a long time to get to the main road. The scenery is beautiful, but I don't really feel patient enough to not get frustrated if I get stuck. So I'm going to just cruise my way there at 40 kilometers per hour, maybe up to 50. I'll be back in just a jiffy. Okay, back on tarmac. That was not as difficult as I feared. I thought it would be very difficult, very challenging, but no, it wasn't. Just keep the thing rolling, and we're all good. All right, and let's don't forget this thing turns extremely tight. There is traffic coming, so I've got to get a move on. I just feel like I make a mess of every single corner right now, and I'm in everyone's way. This is with 450 horsepower. How heavy is this trailer, though? Okay, well, is this bus overtaking me or is it a truck? Huh. Okay, I'm going to let this guy go. So he can suddenly see around corners, right? Let's just get back up to speed then. I'm trying to help you out, sunshine. Why'd you do that? Alright, let's go ahead and plug in the cruise control. We'll get up to 80 kilometers per hour, which if you're not used to European units or modern units, New World units, they're really old world units, they just feel more modern. This is going to be 50 miles an hour when we eventually get there. And if my calculations are correct, we're going to be doing about 1100 RPM in top gear, which is a pretty happy speed for the Cursor 10 engine. They produce decent low down torque, and as you can guess, it's a 10 litre. It's 10.3. So it's not an enormous engine by any stretch, but for 50 horsepower, that's pretty respectable. At about 1550 foot-pounds of torque. Right, there we go. And yep, just under 1100 revs. That works for me. Okay. Quick check of how far we got to go. So 400 kilometers, but I think a lot of that is via boat ferry. So I'm not worried about that too much. Plus, I don't really intend on having everyone along for the whole. Whoa, that was a big bump. Having everyone along for the whole ride, but we will go ahead and just get the thing up to cruise again on, guess the motorway. And thanks, bus. Pretty sure I had right away. Wow, maybe I don't. Well, I do now, but I thought it. Oh, it does tell me to give way. Oops. Sorry, everyone. It means something different in British, don't you know? But I'm in America, driving in Sweden, or something. Alright, cruise is now on. Let's get this bad boy up to 80 kilometers per hour. Huge bump there. I'm going to pull in front of this truck. Thank you, sir. I don't think you really had much of a choice. I was doing it anyway, but I appreciate it. I think I want to tweak the gear shift points just a little bit for this engine, because when we get up to 80 kilometers per hour, it's not going to shift up by itself. I have to use the shift hint command to get up into top gear, which I think I can do now. No, I can't. Okay. What are we doing? Closer to 80. Try it now. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I can tweak that, but I will also check just why the engine produces all of its torque. And I remember the stock engine was fine doing that, but it was not accurate. A lot of the engines were nowhere near accurate, but yeah, she's down at 78. This is probably a bit heavy on fuel. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, well, I think all things said and done, I really wanted this to be a kind of a short intro, a little quick progress update. The plan is to get this video released on, I'm thinking, the second Monday even in October, although I may get this out the weekend before, just because okay, it's a weekend, and I'm actually recording this video on the first Friday, Friday the 4th of October. So 7 months until Star Wars Day. So I right now, I don't know when I'm going to get this thing ready. We will see. But yeah, given I announced that I was bringing support on a Sunday, I think I might do the same. And just here's where I'm at. Why have we stopped? Maybe that sign means the opposite of what I thought it means.
Go straight.
Maybe I could go find out rather than just guessing. That one might make sense. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you got something from this video today. If you are interested in what's going on under the hood of this mod, you want to know a bit more details, go ahead and let me know. I'm curious to see what the market is for this engine pack. I do get criticized for just not having interesting sounds for the most part, and yeah, that is true. I really don't. So maybe people will think that this mod sucks, in which case, okay. Maybe I can work on a video that really shows how you can add your own sounds to it. Who's to say? But thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope, like I say, you got something from this. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.